All right, Jeff, I'm going to walk you through on how you can add a scoring system when your sprite touches things that are recyclable and not recyclable. So first step I'm going to rename this instead of food. I'm going to call it no recycle. And I'm going to change this one to yes recycle. And then I'm going to come down to these two tabs right here, and I'm going to change this one from food to no recycle. I'm going to change this one to yes recycle. So this way, when our player overlaps with a sprite that is no recycle, something will happen. And when a player overlaps with a sprite that is recyclable, then something else will happen. So I'm actually going to remove this one for now. And I'm going to right click and click duplicate. I'm going to put splash up here. So splash is going to add a phrase or a question to our game. And I'm going to type in, is this, can you recycle this? And actually, I'm going to duplicate this again and type it up here. So this is a question. When our player overlaps with any sprite, it's going to ask, can you recycle this object? And then we need our program to make a decision. So based upon what the player types in. So we need two things. So we're going to grab logic, and we're going to say, if what they type in is correct, then if it's true, then you score points, kudos. And we're going to add another if up here, and we're going to say, if what they type in isn't recyclable, then they lose a point if they don't answer the question correctly. Okay, so I'm going to go back to logic, and I'm going to grab this block right here, and then I'm going to put it inside that true statement. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for up here. And then we're going to go back to game, and we're going to grab this ask for a string. I'm going to pop that into the first one. I'm going to duplicate this one again, and I'm going to put that one into there. Okay, and we're going to ask for string, and we're going to say, so if this isn't recyclable, we expect them to say no. So, and we're just going to have them type in the letter N for no. And the same thing down here. We're going to ask them for a string, and we ask them to type in the letter Y for yes. And that way, it's yes, this is recyclable. I'm going to add another splash screen up top here too. Here. And we're going to give instructions about what to type. We're going to say type Y for yes and N for no. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that into there. Oops. I was wrong. You know what? I just discovered this, and we're not going to do a second splash screen. We're going to do it all in one. I'm going to delete this one up here. Okay. Now we need to decide what happens when they type in an answer. So we're going to say, so for no, they lose a point, and we're going to go back to game. I'm sorry. Info. We're going to go info. We're going to say change score. And for if they get it right, they're going to gain a point. And if they get it wrong, they're going to lose a point. And we're going to do the same thing down here. So change score by 1 and change score by -1. I'm going to put this over here. That's right. And I also like adding a, just so they know what's up. So we can put this up here and we can say, we'll change this to top. Say, that's right. So that's wrong. And smiley face. And let's copy these down to here. Okay, so we're almost done. Next thing we need to do is we want to delete the sprites we run into, because otherwise it will just keep triggering this query over and over and over again. So what we want to do is go up to sprites and we want to grab a destroy my sprite when they touch base with us. And we're going to say destroy sprite 2. That's the name of our sprite. And we're going to copy that and put another one down here. And we're going to say destroy sprite 3. I believe that's right. Yeah, sprite 3 is a computer that is recyclable. This one, sprite 2, the apple, which is, for now, we're saying is not recyclable. So you can, again, change these sprites to whatever you want, draw a bottle, and then, or maybe draw something, you know, that's not recyclable at all, okay? Whatever that's going to be. The other thing is we need to control, because these just spawn on your game at like randoms, at like the exact same spot. So we need to go to like random spots. So we're going to use this exact same block right here. We're going to say go to random. And instead of this one, we're going to pick the one you use a lot, which is this block right here. And we're going to change this to sprite 2. And we're going to duplicate this. And we're going to change this to sprite 3. Okay. You could do something different. You could tell your sprite to go to a XY position. You just got to figure out where these XY positions are going to be at. That can be kind of hard to do, but you can just kind of experiment and play around with different XY positions to make sure they get onto a course that the player can touch. So I'll leave that to you to kind of figure out, but random is the easy way to do it. The game might be really hard or it might be really easy. All right, so let's test this out for what we got so far. All right, so I'm going to click on here and I'm going to play it. So, wait, why are they in the same spot? Oh, these probably need to be above that. There we go. All right, so can you recycle this? Type Y for yes and no for no. Oops, typo. N for no. Let's refresh that. All right, so the computer down here. Can you recycle this? Type Y for yes. No for, oh, oops. Forgot, we gotta change it in both spots. Okay. Refresh. Let's try this again. All right. There's the computer. Type Y for yes and N for no. Press A. The computer was yes. And type in Y. Push OK. That's right. Okay, to close that block, you can see I scored a point. I'm going to go down here. So I know the answer to this one's no, but I'm going to type Y again. And I'm going to push yes. And that's wrong. All right, you can see your points in the top right go up and down based upon that score. And you could include, I think it'd be really good for you to include some information about why that's wrong. You can say, so for the apple, you could type in here, food, you need to compost food. You can't recycle it. So let's test this one out. Okay. I'm going to say yes. That's wrong. You need to compost food. You can't recycle it. So therefore, your information is there. Okay. So I think the other thing is you think about how do you decide who wins and how many points do you need to win and how many of these sprites you're going to throw into. So I'd recommend adding a couple more in so the game is fun and you need like a minimum amount of points to win. So in order to do this again, you can really just leave this here and you can these two things will control for recyclable and not recyclable. But you will need to I take it back. You'll need to create one of these for each of your different sprites, so that way they are destroyed. Ooh, or we can just say destroy other sprite. I think that will work. Oh, well, here's a flaw in your game. We need to be able to get to that island. All right, I'm going to refresh. The computer's still there. Let's see if we can find the apple. Oh, yeah, we're going to have to look really hard for this one. There it is. Yes, no. Answer it correctly this time. Oops. That's right. Okay. So yeah, just do other sprites. And this way we can add additional sprites to your game. So we can add another sprite for here. And this could do going to do another food. Done. And we're going to say, make this one type no recycle. Say no. And this way, yeah. So you just need to think about your error message of why you can't recycle it, because it'll be the exact same for all of them. So you might need to make all your non-recyclables to be food or e-waste or something like that. So just think about the message you send because they will be the same for each of your things. If you want to be different, you have to create a whole nother one of these of sprite kind overlap. So that way you can have different messages based upon what it is. So like I said, the last thing you want to think about is like, how do people win? So what you could do is you could add a forever loop in here, and you could add another logic in here. You can say if Let's say game. Oops, no, info. So we can say if, grab another logic. So if score equals 2, so if they get 2 answers right, we can do game win. All right, so let's test this. So it is recyclable. Yes, that's right. Grab another fruit. And that isn't recyclable. There you go. That's it. That's how we can add a win condition to your game as well. And you could say, and if they have to do that before the time runs out, and that's how they lose. So they have as much time as they can to kind of do this before the time runs out. And you can make, depending upon how many of these you can make, so you can make, if they have to get all 3 answers right, for this example, you can type in equals 3, or it could be equals 2 if you only have a couple of them in there. So based upon how many of these are, you might want to change your score to match that up. So I hope all this makes sense. Feel free to contact Ms. Stone if you have any questions, and she can email me, and I'm happy to kind of keep working with you and figure this out. So good luck. Happy coding.